and Josh at the Acoustic Centre. Welcome back to the start of another new year. Happy New Year to you, Josh.
Oh, thank you very much. 2025, here we are.
Here we are. Lovely to see you. We are kicking off the year with something truly special. Joshy, I have run the numbers. This is the most expensive new guitar we have ever had in the store.
Well, there you go.
It is a story unto itself. It is, of course, the Maton OM-45 John Mayer 20th anniversary signature model. Some fascinating points about this guitar. Joshy, I know you haven't spent a lot of time with it yet.
No, about all of 2 minutes or so.
What are your first impressions?
Well, just having a strum, tuning it up, obviously, before we play to the video, we need to tune it. So as soon as I tuned it up and had a strum, full, rich, clear, dynamic, it's quite loud and it's light as a feather. That's the first thing I noticed compared to most OMs that you play. Very, very lightweight guitar.
Yeah.
So fairly special instrument.
The workmanship and the attention to detail with this guitar is just through the roof. Some incredible specs. We'll start off with the most obvious one. The finish is done in a unique platinum grey burst. It's a finish that we've never seen on an acoustic guitar before. When the world first got a look at this guitar, when Martin released the photos, we couldn't work it out. Is this a black and white photo? What's going on here? It's the sort of thing that divided people, I think, when they first saw it online. But when you see it in the flesh, I absolutely love that look. Totally unique, and it just really works.
It is incredible. And the faded look, I'm not sure how they achieved that, because I know that you've got to be a person of considerable skill to paint guitars and paint them well. So it's just, I don't really know what to say by looking at it, because it's so unique. I don't really know what to compare it to.
Yeah.
I've seen a guitar with a charcoal finish, but that was quite one colour. It was only one colour across the whole thing. So it wasn't a burst in something light grey like that. And I know it sounds like we're raving on about it, but that's very hard to achieve, that's for sure.
Yeah. I know that it was all John Mayer's idea from what I've researched, Joshy, that he was the one behind this finish. Where it came from, I'm not sure. Fred Green at Martin, that works closely with John with his signature models and designs, said Martin had great difficulty in taking photos of this guitar. There was a lot of issues in trying to get a decent photo of it, being black and white, being the dull grey finish. But boy, in the flesh, I really like it.
I know. And I'm sure it's amazing, isn't it, that someone of the calibre of John Mayer, with the success he's had, he can come up with something quite outrageous and go, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
And if it was anyone else, I'm sure they'd be like, oh, I don't think so, pal. But, because it's John, he can come up with incredible concepts, and then they can go, righto, well, let's try and make it happen.
It's not the only outrageous spec on it either. Let's move through it. It is standard OM length. The top is Engelmann spruce. The back and sides, Guatemalan rosewood. Joshy,
my favourite rosewood.
Is that right?
It is my favourite rosewood.
Yeah. Something interesting here, the rosewood on the back has a charcoal rubbed finish through it as well, a light charcoal stain.
That's what that is,
yeah,
okay.
Just to slightly match it with the rest of the guitar.
Well, you're surprising me with all these things that I've noticed, but I'm like, what is that? And now you're explaining it to me, so that's really good. And I should validate what I'm saying about Guatemalan being my favourite sounding rosewood. Guatemalan and Madagascan rosewood. This is not Madagascan, obviously. Everyone always talks about Brazilian rosewood, of course, being the holy grail instrument. But what I've noticed is, for some reason, every time I play a Madagascan or a Guatemalan rosewood guitar, it's obviously a high-end guitar it's used on, but it always seems to sound astonishingly good. And this is just the same. Anyway, that's just my perspective.
I like it. The bracing is torrefied Adirondack spruce, 1/4-inch cut, fine, narrow braces like the original OMs, so you noticed how light it was to begin with when you picked it up.
Light.
What makes the John Mayer stand out from other OMs is, of course, the narrower 1/11/16 nut width. John Mayer and I have got a lot of things in common, but especially the nut width. We both I love that neck. John Mayer's a big man with a big hand.
He's a big man with a big hand, and that's why I'm always sort of like, why did he go with that? And it's more similar to his Fenders,
Right.
his Strats, and which he's not really playing anymore.
He
of
moves
course.
around, doesn't
Moves
he?
around, but I guess it's someone who's going between electric guitars and acoustic guitars in front of a lot of people. You want everything to be spot on, and when you stand in front of thousands of people, you don't want to make many mistakes on guitars, I imagine.
Yeah, it's a beautiful neck, low oval, pretty standard taper on it. Just feels great. Doesn't feel narrow in the hands. I noticed before.
It still feels substantial, but not hefty or oversized. Yeah.
Joshy, before we go on, give us another taste of this beautiful thing.
I just want to hear the overtones in the ring. Orchestral model. It certainly is.
It can do anything. It can do anything that shape.
Orchestral is the word I'd use to describe the tone of that guitar. It's just full, rich, and lots of overtones. It's quite something.
Some of the finer points. Another feature that I'd never seen on an acoustic guitar until one of the earlier Maya models, the rosette running all the way through the end of the ebony fretboard. That's one of the most difficult things to make with this guitar as well, my research tells me.
Well, when you look straight down, you can't tell that the rosette is lifted up onto the fretboard. It just, if you look at it straight down, it's perfectly aligned. And if anyone who's done some woodwork before, they know how difficult all this sort of stuff is.
It's so fine, all these
we always
pieces.
talk about it. It's not just like going up to a machine and pushing a button and out a guitar pops. This is all made with skill, precision, and craftsmanship.
Yeah.
So that's what's astonishing about this. Can you tell me about this? Because I've only just noticed that.
Another thing I've never seen on a guitar before either. That is an ebony pickguard, and what's unique about it, Joshy? Tell the crowd at home.
It's under the finish.
Right. It is perfectly flat here. It's.
I didn't actually notice it till just then.
I know. That's a piece of genuine ebony cut into the top of an Engelmann spruce top.
Yeah.
Finished to be perfectly levelled.
Yeah.
And again, it's something I've never seen in a guitar before. Did John think of that as well?
I don't know. Maybe he was sitting there and he's like, what else? How can I challenge these guys?
I want a flat pickguard.
I want a piece of ebony under the finish.
Yeah.
Oh, John.
Yeah.
And what's the pinstriping here, mate?
Okay, the original Maya models when it was first released, probably the limited model, I'd say, when it first came out 20 years ago, had aluminium binding on the bridge and on the headstock. For this one, Joshy, they've said aluminium's not good enough. We're going to make this genuine silver.
Oh, okay.
This is silver purfling on a bound ebony bridge.
Well, that's astonishing.
The silver continues all the way up the fretboard there.
So that's really silver?
It's real silver.
Wow.
Real silver around the rosette. And let's cap it off with genuine silver dots on the bone bridge pins.
Why not?
Yeah, incredible. Being a 45, of course, it has all the beautiful abalone purfling on every corner just about, on the heel, on the both sides of that's an aged white binding. The abalone trim is on both sides of each of the binding.
Unbelievable.
Moving up to the headstock.
All around here too. Yep.
All around there. Beautiful, the vertical CF Maton logo. This is extra colourful abalone bound in mother of pearl, Joshy.
Now, you've been to the Maton factory. Have you met... Apparently there's only 2 ladies there who do this. They do the inlays here.
I saw ladies doing it. I don't know if there's only 2, but we definitely talked to a lady that was doing this all by hand.
Yeah,
little
there with
individual bits of abalone going in to make that one strip.
Like, that's just astonishing work and hard work and just such detailed work.
The amount of training.
Yeah.
And when people...
And years of experience.
People talk about the price of a guitar like this. It's expensive, but as it should be for the amount of work... materials, training, expertise, unbelievable.
And also, how many of these were made? Do you know?
They were built to order only. It's finished now. There will only be 3 of these in Australia.
Wow.
And the number on the label of this one, Joshy, hit me. It's an early one.
Number 24.
Right, my favourite number.
OM-45, John Mayer.
Personally signed by the man
It
himself.
is personally signed. There it is.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, amazing.
So that's an early one, number 24. We will only be getting one. What else can I tell you, Joshy? These satin finish Waverleys. They're like a pewter satin Waverley. This is custom inlays. They're not standard 45 inlays, I don't think. There's something that John's customised. Colourful abalone, also bound in real mother of pearl. You know, I could go on and on.
Well, it's funny sitting with a guitar like this. It's a privilege, you know, because it's a privilege because I know how much work has gone into this guitar, and you know, because we work with guitars all the time, we understand what goes into them. So thanks, Martin, for creating something so amazing, and thanks to Stu for bringing it to our attention.
And good on John Mayer for putting so much thought. I mean, he's a guy that really knows his guitars.
Yeah.
And he hasn't just said, knock me something up and I'll put my name on it.
Yeah.
I mean, he has agonised over this.
Yeah, which is great. It's so great. And do we know anything about the silver reference? Because I've noticed that his Ernie Ball signature strings are a silver packaging. This is silver.
There's something going on with the
Silver Sky. That's his other guitar.
The hard case. It's like a platinum steel.
Yeah, I know. It looks like an aluminium caravan from the 50s.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Doesn't have the signature on it, actually. I've only just noticed. Because I did bring something else, Joshy. Actually, give us one more taste of that, mate.
It's a beautiful sounding guitar, that's for sure.
All right, we should get that back into the case before something terrible happens. If you're after a more affordable option than this one, if you want to get the kids through school or pay off the mortgage rather than drop it all on the one guitar, we do have another option for you. There it is, Joshy, the classic.
The original classic.
The OMJM, one of the most popular guitars in the history of our store. We can never keep one longer than a week normally.
That's for sure.
That's where it all started. It's a take on an OM-28 really, but it has his same narrow nut width, same neck.
Volute, of course.
Always.
It's got the beautiful volute there.
Yeah.
Now this also, we should let everybody know, does come with a pickup.
Yes.
Okay, so
that one doesn't.
Yeah, so that one doesn't. There was often Martin leave it up to the customer whether they want a pickup or not. But this has a pickup in it because it's the pickup that John Mayer used and has always used. I think it's a fantastic sounding pickup. It's the Martin Gold Plus pickup. And for some reason, I don't know, just this is my opinion from plugging it in, it's a full and rich sounding piezo that's not too pingy. I don't know how they've achieved it. I just know that it's a round and a full and powerful sound.
Yeah.
Acoustically too. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. It's so warm and round. I really think he's onto something there with the Engelmann spruce.
And Engelmann is, in terms of when it's not stained, very, very blonde, bright coloured spruce. Just for some nerdy information there for everyone out there. And generally grows at altitude very slowly. It's an alpine pine, so very, very close-knit grain you'll see on an Engelmann spruce. Some more nerd information there for you.
Have a close look here at the logo, Joshy. What colour is it?
Silver.
Yeah, dating right back.
Very interesting.
There you have it, folks. 2 incredible models from Maton. Just thought we'd show them both to you today because we have the 45 and the standard in stock. It's the John Mayer model, one of the great guitars out there. If you have any questions, give us a call. Come in and see this guitar in the flesh. It will blow you away. Joshy, take us out with a few chords.
Nothing wrong with that.